guys, it's Tap In with TT and welcome to the show. My special guest today is no stranger to Tap In with TT. I've been following these guys for many, many years, since the beginning of their career. And now they're back together and they're in the seat. Welcome everybody to the show, day 26.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey. So good to be here.
Wow, it's so great to see you guys. It's been so many years.
Right.
Like, how long has it been since I've seen y'all in person?
That was like what? That was like 2009.
Yeah. Because you didn't even realize that I wasn't doing radio in Richmond anymore.
Yeah,
I was in New York.
Yeah.
And so I've been here for almost 11 years.
Oh, yeah.
So I know it's been longer than that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. And Willie, you're married with kids now. How old are your kids?
I have a 19-year-old, I got a 14-year-old girl, and I got a 6-year-old son and then a 4-year-old daughter.
Damn, you've been busy.
He got a small tribe.
Yes, he does. I think the last time I actually saw you,
I
the
probably
kids.
had one.
Yeah, I think it was your son, and then he was a baby.
Yeah, Kavion, he's 19 now.
Damn, we're getting old.
Right? It's like,
Wow. So what is he up to now?
he's actually doing music as well now. So yeah, well, he was into sports a lot through the high school, and then when he came to senior, he wanted to stop and then he wanted to do music. But he's really talented, so I'm just gonna see what he do with it. As long as his passion's behind it, I'm behind him.
I love that.
Yeah.
For the new fans who don't know who everybody is, I just want you guys to introduce yourselves to the camera so everybody can get familiar. Because we have new people that watch now on YouTube that may have not followed Day 26 from the beginning like me. So Willie, obviously.
Yeah, what's up? This is Willie Taylor.
What's going on? Robert Curry, I'm from Detroit.
They ain't asked where you was from.
I wanted to tell him.
They don't care where you from. Nah, go
They
ahead.
don't care where you from. That's why you ain't said.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Big Mike.
It is I, the one, Bryan Angel.
And I'm Cornell.
Yeah, together with Day 26.
Yeah.
He from Chicago. He from. He from
Okay.
He from New York.
Bryan, you from Houston.
Greatest city in the world.
And I knew you were always from Chicago. Mike, you're from North Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. That's right.
See, told you. where he was
Original
from.
members, right?
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
All original members.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I remember you
That's
two the
crazy,
most
right?
because you always had a very outspoken personality in that group.
To the
You
day.
were always quiet when you would come on the road and do radio interviews. Mike, you were always quiet. You still got that kind of low back vibe. Willie, you were always kind of the
He
front
was just
and
telling me
center
to shut the fuck
guy.
up in the last interview.
And I would say, like, I don't remember you two as much as I remember these.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, man, I remember you, TT.
I
It's
remember
not.
you.
It's not good because we remember you.
I know, but I feel like you guys may have been like the quiet ones and the new ones, but I don't feel like you
New
were.
ones? What you
Not
mean?
new ones, like new to the scene, like trying to figure out the game. Y'all were so
Not at all.
young coming in.
Not at all. I was signed. I was signed when I made this deal.
Wow, I never knew.
I was
You
signed
had
to-
a lot
I was
of
signed to
questions
Wycliffe.
about Dawn when
That's right.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, how you don't remember him?
I'm like, how you remember me,
Wait,
TT?
did you date Don?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's been so
I
many
So
know.
now I'm the only
Yeah.
one you don't remember.
Yeah.
Wow, I remember you dated Don. What happened with that?
A lot of stuff, but
He
you
dumped
know,
her.
like,
Because y'all came out around the same time Danity Kane came out.
yeah.
Right
Well,
after.
after-
Right,
Yeah,
they
we
came
the
out
next-
first,
right,
and then
us.
y'all were like
The following
male
year.
group that came out.
Yeah.
And I remember you having a relationship with her.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they joined our show, and then
Right.
when they joined our show, Q
Took
and
out.
Don ended up being a love interest on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So y'all have to take me through this journey because y'all are back, y'all are performing. Y'all had a lot of like different things that was said about the group throughout the years. Why y'all broke up? Like y'all were beefing. I heard fights were happening,
Yeah,
and like y'all were like F each other. Like, so how did y'all get back to this point, or was that not true at all?
But
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say that. It's kind of not true. People just put whatever they want to put out there. Real talk. We went through one or two members leaving and coming back, but we never actually broke up as a whole group. Never said fuck you to each other.
I mean, we might have said it in passing. We ain't really mean it though.
Yeah.
you know?
But we ain't saying to nobody that can bring it back to you.
Yeah.
We said it.
Yeah.
We said it to each other in a closed room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. So there wasn't like on the road y'all was beating each other up.
Heck no.
No, you know what I mean? At the beginning, but you know, at this age, we too old for that. You know what I mean? It's about getting the money, providing the,
Yeah.
our
space
families,
for us
yeah.
to do our thing for our families for sure.
But that is a big misconception that we broke up. And just so the world knows,
and it was never a breakup. I think at one point Q was gone. He was doing his own thing. At another time, Bryan had left and he was doing his own thing.
I remember Bryan leaving.
Yeah, so at those points, I think we were still on the road doing our thing or whatever.
But Willie, you was also on your own too, because you put out a few singles yourself.
Yeah, I
but he
mean,
was not a Day 26.
It wasn't like a no more Day 26 type of situation. It was just something. We all live in different cities and states, so when we by ourselves and doing our own thing, we all go to studios and write our own music and play out things of that nature. So it's never been a thing where we were done with it, but at the same time, I was still letting the other talent show as well while being away from it.
I think a huge misconception of like, oh, Day 26 broke up, because they get to see everything like firsthand, because of the way that we were kind of presented to the world.
Doing a reality show.
Yeah, but
like, at the time when reality shows, right? But remember, you guys came out when reality shows were just starting to be a thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
a big thing,
right? And that was like really the height of reality television on the boom of it.
Yeah.
So if y'all could roll back the hands of time, would y'all have not done reality TV?
I still do it.
I think
again and again.
Yeah, I think we'll do. I think
and we about to do it again.
A lot of things will be different. Because it's one thing coming in new and not knowing much and just looking at something that looks like something you want to be a part of and jumping for it. I think now we definitely can do it, but we'll be more in a position where we can control the narrative and make sure that we.
I always do it. Ain't no better drug than TV. So I'm always gonna be visible to the television.
But let them get on there. So I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm writing and directing as well. So I mean, more behind the scenes.
What didn't you guys like about that moment in time, like with the TV?
How they move the narrative. How
perception.
We can see certain things happening that didn't happen. How it happened on the show. So I mean, everything happened on the show, but they would change up like the timetable of it or where it happened. So just not having a whole. Opinion on how that would transpire, because it was just go out here and you get filmed and we're gonna put it out how we want to put it out.
And they brought y'all together, right? Because a lot of people don't realize, like, you guys didn't know each other before the reality show. It was a group that was kind of put together. From you guys met literally during the auditions. So y'all had
and we're in competition.
And was in competition. Up until we made the group, we was in competition with each other. And then we made the group, and then right after that, we had to make an album. So imagine the confusion that we had even recording the album when we was just in competition trying to knock one of these guys out of a group, of a position.
Yeah.
So I think we had to get to that growing process of what that looked like even too with the first album and some of the second album.
Yeah.
But now we're in a better place where we just know wholeheartedly exactly who these guys are individually and who we are collectively. So I think now it's just a mission of going and feeding the fans, because they always been there and they've always pushed us and wanted us to do it, even when we didn't want to do it ourselves. So.
But you guys were each individually talented. That's one thing
people
got to really see through the competition, that all of you guys had your something unique about y'all. Y'all were all equally talented.
Yeah.
So no matter what the narrative was, at least the underlining was that you guys did have talent. And y'all could sing and y'all could write and stuff like that. But there was misconception, and we haven't spoken to you guys in so many years that y'all went through a lot of financial issues. Yeah. The deal with Bad Boy fell apart, then y'all had rift in that. Like, walk us through what really happened during that time.
Oh man, I mean, the thing is, off back. Okay, so imagine you coming in, and us coming from different walks of life anyway, but just going to the making a band situation through Bad Boy and MTV, which was a bad situation anyway. So it wasn't a good contract; it was a bad contract.
Would y'all get paid to do the TV, by the way, if y'all don't mind me asking?
I don't know if we can talk about that.
Y'all can't.
What,
we got paid. Oh, we got paid for making the band.
I know, but I said I don't know
what we deserved.
It wasn't like okay. We got paid. I remember
the numbers too.
We got paid.
I don't know if we can talk about that though.
Why?
Why not?
Because it's. Never mind.
I think we can talk about that.
Something legal, but go ahead.
At the
but
beginning,
y'all didn't get. Let's just say
we didn't get paid for enough. We had a #1 TV show, and we didn't get paid like a #1.
But every season, our pay went up every season too.
Okay.
But it went up. I mean, come on.
It was
we didn't make what we were supposed to make.
Crazy.
Bottom line, they paid us, but they paid us
what they wanted to pay us.
Bottom of the barrel.
I before that, I didn't know what reality TV pays, so I wouldn't know.
Right.
I just paid. I got what they gave us, and every season it seemed better because we got higher
season
pay.
1 it was crap.
Yeah.
Season 1 they gave us like $400 a week.
Yeah. But we got paid per episode too, but it was little.
But I know folks who signed those reality deals, and it was pretty egregious. like networks taking advantage of young talent.
They do.
And taking advantage of the fact that they didn't know or they couldn't afford lawyers at the time because
they don't really let you. They don't give you the opportunity to get lawyers and stuff like that. It's really like sign this contract or don't do it.
Or don't do it.
It's what's it called? Well, of course it's non-negotiable, but it was just a one-sided deal. Like whatever was there was there. So mind you, thousands of people line up to do the show. When they pick you, you're presented with this contract, and if you don't do it, then you got to worry about the next guy behind you doing it, and then you being back in the hood wondering what that could have been for you. So I think it was just a bunch of that at the moment, and jumping at it and trying to see if we can actually make a better life.
And they were very transparent about it.
But I think the best thing about it is that we end up being able to learn the position that we was in and able to fix it and make sure that we were able to, be.
I think that came because a lot of us in the group had somewhat experience prior to all this bad boy stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, it didn't stop it from happening.
No, but we knew, no.
Wish we could have used our powers combined to do that.
I know. No, but it happened. But at the same time, you notice out of all those groups, we're still here.
Yeah, it's because of the passion that we have.
I mean, but it's also because we understand. Exactly.
And we got the fans, and we know how to go get the money.
But the thing is like you guys were y'all did the show. Y'all became really big, huge superstars. I remember doing shows in Richmond, and thousands of people would come out to see you guys perform. Fans lined up, fans stalking y'all at the hotel room. I think I did a special on y'all. An interview inside like an SUV, and we were going from one venue to other, and we started at your hotel. And I remember girls like literally like trying to sneak into y'all like hotel, stalking y'all. Yeah. And so you have the success of the reality show, then you have the success of the tour, and then your album went crazy, and it was like. But you guys didn't see a lot of that monetarily in your pockets. And so how were y'all able to like take care of your families and stuff like that?
Well, for me, being not financially stable during that time, it caused a lot of mental health. I had to see a psychiatrist and a therapist, and had to write down some things that was going on, how I felt about like the music industry. I told them about that, making the band, a couple other things. So it was a hard time.
But I'm glad you brought that up because there was the rumor that you kind of had a psychotic breakdown and that your behavior was the real reason why the group fell apart because of like the energy that you brought to the group. Now that you're saying this, it makes sense.
Well, my psychotic breakdown came from when I left the group and came back from working with Diddy. Yeah. That's when I had a breakdown. The breakdown before on TV was, I would say, it wasn't really a breakdown. It was a young adult reacting to feeling like he's not being heard or being played. So that's how I reacted when I was like younger on making the band. Like I just didn't feel like the business was right, and I was reacting like I didn't care how it came out. So that wasn't a psychotic breakdown. Yeah. The psychotic breakdown came afterwards when I left the group, then came back. Yeah. And that's when it was crazy.
Yeah. How did you get through those dark times?
Honestly, my family,
G.O.D.'s.
They thought I was going to die.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. They were scared that I wasn't going to be able to recover from what I was going through. And it's crazy, whatever that I was going through, I can't really talk about it now. Yeah. But it took me back in time to where it broke my mentality down to like a kid, like a baby, and I had to Yeah.
Well, I commend you for talking about that, because a lot of, black men hold that in and don't talk about therapy. Yeah. I think it's more of a thing now where black men are going to therapy and they are understanding, like, it's okay to get help, but when you guys came out on the scene, nobody really talked about that, or say, hey, I need help, or didn't even know what anxiety or PTSD was, right?
Yeah. And as men, sometimes we run from those things.
Yeah.
Like we think, no,
especially men that look like
no
us.
Depression,
yes,
anxiety, none of that stuff. We try to, act like we're above it. You know what I mean?
But there's also no transition plan, right? There's no like a blueprint to like fame, right, and how to handle it, right? It's no like you just come from overnight success, what it seems like, but you guys been working all your life behind the scenes, working on your craft, choir rehearsal in church, as little kids singing, you know, in the pulpits or wherever you know, in your neighborhoods and stuff like that, and then you get a break, then you on television, then you on tour. That's rigorous on your schedule, on your body, on your mental. Then you have a bunch of different women. You have all these things coming at you at once, and then you don't have time to process it.
But that's not the breakdown part. That's not the breakdown of it. Like, you don't get broken down from that. That's the fun.
Yeah,
that's
the fun part you're talking about right there.
Yeah. The people in the music industry is the ones that break you down. Those are the ones who you got to watch out for, and you got to be very so strong that you're not compromising what you were taught and what you believe in for somebody else's, for a gig or for an opportunity. You know, and never have to compromise yourself for.
So we might as well break the ice and talk about it. I mean, it's not surprising that Diddy is going through what he's going through, and if you guys can't talk about it, I understand. But some of the things that have been alleged about him was that he was mentally abusive to his artists. Danity, Kane, Dawn Richards just came out with an interview she did with Good Morning America, as well as in this new documentary, and she talked about the verbal and physical abuse that she suffered.
I think it's a little different in our situation. As men, we grow up playing sports. Like, we got coaches that talk to us like that all the time, and for us, this is our sport. Yeah. So to me, it was no different them talking to me like that. Like, my basketball coach would talk to me, or my football coach would talk to me, because that's the kind of things that they do. Even if you go into the military, they talk to you like that, you know. So for me, it was just a part of my craft. I guess I can understand differently for women, maybe, but for me, it was just, I had a hard coach. And I had to please a hard coach. That's how I took it.
Yeah, and those things happen because, I mean, in this industry, it's like 10 times harder for a woman to do it.
But did you guys experience some
I had the whole bitch-assness scene. Yeah, I've been through some of it. But like I said, I just took it as a hard coach that taught strenuous lessons that needed to be learned to have the skin that you need to be in this industry. Now, I'm not saying his way was gold or how it's supposed to go, but because I've been raised with that kind of, my dad's from the...
We got a little PTSD.
My dad's in the military, but he never raised his voice to me. So I don't have to. I know that's not how you have to teach. But like I said, I played football, I played basketball. And the coaches don't talk to you like they trying to cater. If you're not doing your thing right, they let you know that in front of the whole team. As worse as they possibly can.
What's the PTSD about?
I mean, I just think, for me, it's just the things that we had to go through, as far as like walking over bridges and, you know, being in 18-degree weather. I'm from Houston. We don't have weather like that, you know. Just sometimes trying to figure it out, figure life out, figure out your bills, figure out just everything. Some of us have kids. Some of us, you know, all of us have lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah.
The financial strain could have been bad, but necessarily
it's.
I say for me, it's real deep. And I'm not going to give too much information, but I will say this. When you're dating someone, like I was dating Dawn, and then you hear this new allegations about her and Puffy and all this stuff, can you imagine how I feel? And if you can kind of place it together, I was going through so much trauma of a pimp thinking everybody around him is his hoe.
A pimp.
You know what I mean? So hear me out. When you're dealing with a pimp and he thinks that's his bitch or his girlfriend, and I'm just a newcomer, I need to get him out of the way, or I don't want him around no too much, because that's my girl. At the end of the day, that's my money, that's my business.
And you didn't know that at the time?
No.
You didn't know any of the things that she was going through? She kept all that from you?
Secret. And I felt it. That's where some of my trauma comes in, my mental health.
Because you felt that she was going through that, but you didn't know
I felt it, and I felt like he was going to hurt me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
If you would have stepped in and tried to help.
Yeah, convene,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just trying to play something.
Which is sad to see, and you know, I've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And you guys know I had a very tight relationship with Puff throughout the years. And I've always said, you know, I respect his legacy and what he did for the culture as a whole. But what hurts the most is that you want to believe that a person is good, right? You want to believe that. And then you find out that maybe that person that you thought was so good isn't as good as what it seemed to be. And what breaks down for me the most is like, at some point in your life, either you're going to clean up your darkness or your darkness is going to do it for you.
Yeah. At some point.
Because
you can't,
like,
it's inevitable.
It's inevitable because like you can't run forever.
No.
You can't hide. My grandmother used to always say, what you do in the dark will always come to light.
Yeah.
It could take 10 years, it could take 20 years, whatever, it's gonna come. And when it comes, just know it's gonna come, it's gonna hit you hard. So like hearing your story, hearing D Wood's story, and hearing all these people's stories, you know, it makes me sad, not only for him, because I feel like you had so many people around you who could have helped you get better, you know, and should have, and should have said, hey, don't do that. Well, that's not the right way.
Right.
Or treat people.
Well, if you
this
involved,
way.
why would you tell the person not to do something that you doing with them?
Right.
You enjoy
If you're
yourself,
reaping the
just
benefits
you.
from it,
That's what I'm saying.
Think about it.
I'm lost. What y'all talking about?
I'm just saying, a lot of people that was enablers that was around, like she said, that could have been like, yo,
They were
don't do
down.
that,
They were
They
down
involved.
with
Why
them.
did
They
you know
were
what I'm
involved with
saying?
the-
Or if not involved, at least
Or it's
don't want to
leaning.
lose their position and where they are. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And they tell you that
amongst
too
the
in the
elite,
interviews,
then you
they
can't
say-
be amongst the elite. You got to act like them. You got to do what they do, or they don't respect you, or they're not gonna have you around. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then it's on you, right? So then it's
There
up to
you
you
go.
to say,
That's what I always say.
So then it's up to you to say, as someone who's employed by this person, is this paycheck worth
Period.
that, living like that or treating people like that?
Exactly.
And to be clear, it is not worth it for me.
Me neither.
Me, but that's my integrity.
Yeah.
That's how I stand on business.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that.
And then you got to realize, some people are scared of him. You know, and they're for real scared
Were
of him.
you guys ever scared? I
I've
know
never-
you,
I don't
Q,
have a
you
reason to
said,
be.
I know Q, you said you were. Bryan.
I never had a reason to.
Nobody.
And that was my
No man walking.
And so for me, that's what like a lot. That's why I still say alleged when we talk about all this stuff with him, because I've never seen that, and I don't really know no man that stand on 10 toes that would allow certain things go down like that as grown men. You know what I'm saying? We was young in the industry and know how to make decisions.
Well, he
and say
said,
no.
she said I could talk about this. He said verbal things to like Dawn and Colleen and them. Like, he would be like, you're my bitch, in front of their fathers and stuff. So the type of respect that he has for people in general is like, he don't care who's around. If he feel like you're his money, then he gonna call you out and say whatever he needs to say, put you in your place in front of whoever.
Well, like I said, I haven't experienced a lot of those things.
Well, you can't speak about things you didn't experience.
Exactly,
right?
and that's what I'm saying.
And that's the thing. Like people, you know, I get that question all the time. Like, I get asked to do interviews to talk about him. I get asked to be in documentaries to talk about him.
Yeah.
And you ain't about to just go start slandering his name and you don't know that.
And I always say, I didn't experience that part of him. I heard of these things? Yes. But was I there? Did I experience it? No, because I also think sometimes people know who to do that with.
Yeah.
And people also know who to groom.
Yep.
Like, the grooming process is a real
It's real
thing.
yes.
And sometimes people that are super vulnerable and just to no fault of their own,
Right.
but it's a grooming process, right? Because imagine, like, you wanting something so bad in life. You want something so bad. And a person that has the power to give it to you is right in front of you.
Yeah.
So when I look at young girls that come into this business, right, I don't fault them. You know why? Because if this person is Diddy and he likes me, little old me, I'm a 19-year-old girl coming into business, don't know much about, and he has everything.
Yeah.
What 19-year-old or
What,
young
19-year-old?
adult-
What, 40, 50?
Yeah, I was about to say, that don't even matter at age at that point.
But I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying? Who would not fall for that?
Yeah, the
And
age
then
don't
you
matter
get-
at that
and
point.
then you get into it, and then you don't know how to get out of it because everything you work so hard for is happening for you, and this man has all
Control
the
over
power
it.
to pull that trigger to take it all away from you.
See, one thing Q always say in interviews, he always say when they ask us about what we would tell our younger selves, or we would give advice to other fans, he always say, like, not to lose yourself. Me personally, man, my dad is a pastor, and I grew up in Germany. But when I moved to the United States, it's the first thing I gravitated to was Bad Boy. So I understand what you mean about wanting something so bad. And I went through 3 major labels before I made it to Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? And even though I had been in these big positions, it still didn't take my hunger away from just wanting to be a bad boy, wanting to be a part. I didn't know much about. I heard people say bad things, but who cares, bro? I'm looking at this is bad.
And you want your own experience.
I'm not gonna let no other situation define mine. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when we got in this situation, this is what you got. This is the key. You already got to know who you are before you get in these situations. That's why it might be good to be a young artist sometimes, and this, that, and the other. But sometimes, bro, the things that you're going to face, you need to already have established who you are as a man. Because if you don't, this industry will define it for you.
Right.
But the good thing is you had that foundation.
Yeah.
See, that's different for a Q or for Mike or for Bryan or for Willie.
But Bryan knows.
No, I'm just saying in general. Thank God you had that foundation. There's a lot of folks that come into the game that do not have it.
Right. That's that whole saying, like, you do anything to get to where you want to get to, but when you do that, you compromise and you lose yourself because, if I give you the world and you lose your soul, then what is that?
Yeah. At any point in your career did y'all say, I just don't want to be a part of Bad Boy anymore?
Oh yeah. That came on early. I mean, when we actually stayed with Atlantic. when we finished our second album, we was going to our third album. We had already departed ways with Bad Boy because Bad Boy had went to Interscope, and Atlantic kept us in their deal to keep Day 26 with Atlantic. So we were already on a mission to really try to get away from the bad boy thing, and we were trying to get about the bad boy curse. We were feeling like we were in a position now to become artists where people can really concentrate on us because it's going to be the first time they were able to see us without the TV show.
And without Diddy.
Yeah, so we were doing that, and then Bryan ended up messing that deal up and we got dropped. So that was the end of that.
How you did that, Bryan?
TT, you know me.
That was the end of that.
What? TT, you know me.
If you know him, then you know we ain't lying.
I'm the bad guy, and that's cool. I'm
it's
cool
all
being
good.
the
We
bad
brought it
guy.
back together, so I won't even dwell on it.
Yeah, we just playing around.
I'm cool being the bad guy.
Yeah, we lost that deal, but we brought it back.
How did you lose it though, Bryan? What did you do?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I just wanted new management.
Right.
Because y'all was all managed.
And he was willing to get that at no cost, any cost.
I hired my own management, and I let the label know.
He didn't
and
let
for
us
whatever
know.
reason,
He didn't let us know.
But my thing is that should have never stopped.
It did.
The
reason it stopped it is because Q had just did the exact same thing. And we had lost Q. So we was doing Made Love Lady. We had a new
Q
single.
didn't get a new management. I was
he
still
did.
working.
He left because of
I was still working.
You talked to Craig Kalman?
I talked to Craig.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I
who he
talked
talked to.
That's who he talked to.
Basically,
You don't understand how.
This is what I'm
I love this conversation, by the way. This is great.
Hold on. I didn't personally talk to him. My manager and my attorney did.
Right, let me tell you something. This is what I'm saying. His story leaving was the exact same story that you came up with.
Right.
And they wasn't finna do it twice.
And on top of that,
you said
I didn't leave. I just want a new management. That sounds to me like,
but that's what he said. He didn't leave.
Hold on. That makes me sound like, that makes me feel like, oh shit, Bryan figured something out. And this is gonna be a problem.
But he didn't quit either. He did the same thing. He said he didn't want to work along with that manager.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I told Craig too. I said I didn't have a.
See, I did.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, all that happened. The cherry on top of it
Yeah.
was the fact that they had TGT waiting in the wings.
Exactly.
So they said that they didn't want to deal with the uncertainty of somebody else leaving. We're gonna take the sure thing and sign TGT, and that'll be our main group for Atlantic.
Mind you, we had to fight.
TVG was Tank, Ginuwine,
Yeah.
and Tyrese.
Yeah. So when they first did their first album, we had our project done, and they were gonna bring them in for their project, but they didn't want two groups. So it was like,
And let me tell you what make it
And
worse.
it's all
too.
because of Bryan.
Let me tell you the only thing that makes it worse is this. Atlantic, when they kept us from Diddy, they didn't have no plan for us. So we was just sitting on the shelf. Anyway, they didn't even have nothing to do with us. It literally took other people that loved us and wanted to work with us to go in and get Atlantic to, like, y'all got Day 26. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, we had like
So we had
Troy Taylor went in for us.
So the part,
Yeah.
no, but
Mike
B. Cox. But
It
the
took
thing is, It was
let
shaky.
it go.
The point I'm making is
To
it
get
was
everybody
shaky
excited.
already.
It was shaky. It was on
But
shaky.
they
ground.
they didn't give us a chance before when they took us from Diddy. It was more just collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? From the split up between Bad Boy and we were just spoils of war.
Well, we did have a single out. And
No,
it was
yeah,
number
that was
one- it
after the
number one-
fact.
It was number one most added. And we was
It
getting
was a
ready.
good single too.
I'm talking.
I
You
like
talking
it.
Made Love Lately, right?
and we
But that was
getting-
after
And we was getting ready to go on a promo tour. Like, mind you, we supposed to leave on a Monday.
Monday.
I had my bags packed at the door.
Friday, we got a call and said y'all gone.
Y'all dropped.
Well, you got dropped. I mean, I ain't never.
What was that feeling like?
I don't think I ever had my bags packed like that though. I was like, new to we was on number one most added record. It's like, how do you get dropped from that? Like, number one most added. You go on your way to do the promo run right now. This is Friday. You supposed to leave Monday to go.
After you just finished the album.
But honestly, they do let me know that I don't feel like Atlantic really was
And
100%.
did they
so
give y'all a recording budget to do the
Man,
album?
all the stuff
we
was done.
record. Yo,
Wow.
they moved us to Atlanta, put us in the crib together. We was up there with Troy Taylor and everybody recording every day. They had a big budget for us.
That album was
Huge budget.
That album was crazy.
It was.
That's why I can't even
So it
understand.
never came out.
It'll never see the light of day.
Y'all heard the
Where-
single,
where is
Made
it?
Love Lately. That was the single.
Who has the
I got
got
him right here. I got him right here on my phone.
No, they good.
Q, what's your thoughts on that? Like,
He was.
Man, like I said, I was always for the group. I just didn't want the manager.
Yeah.
So as long as the manager wasn't involved, I was
And that's
cool
all
or
I
whatever
wanted.
was.
who was managing y'all at the time?
We can't say it.
Oh, we
but
can't
yeah.
say it. Okay.
Right.
Because I'm trying to think.
He's still working right now, man. And, you know,
Yeah.
He's still my friend. So.
Yeah.
God, he's still
bless
cool
him. God
people
bless
to me.
Yeah, and actually we all got a chance to talk and resolve our differences. So
So this is what I'm saying. This is what I want to get to now. So now we kind of got the backstory. We kind of understood what happened. So who got on the phone with who to say, let's put the band back together.
Like-
Let's put the differences aside and let's go on tour.
I think that really depends on at what point you was talking about because we didn't ever really break up. Like we said, we lost a member for a minute and we still kept touring. We still kept doing we went on a whole tour, sold out the whole tour without B. So
Sold out.
Sold out.
Hold on.
But it's not all 5 members. So let's not say breakup.
But when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came
All
back,
5 members, all 5
Okay.
members were gone at
Bryan,
different
it was
times.
Bryan. It was
I
him.
reached out.
It was
I
Bryan.
reached out to Willie because, like me, when I did leave the group, I was working on myself. I was working, spiritually. I started, basically detoxing. I stopped watching certain things. I started reading more positive things. I started like,
Were you guys on a lot of drugs back then?
no,
No.
No.
I
I don't
honestly
think so.
like when
Never.
you
The normal amount. I was doing the normal amount. Whatever that is.
I just recently started eating edibles.
Wow.
That's
Just
funny.
recently.
What, the normal
age.
amount?
Yeah.
No, I just felt like it was something that I needed to hash out. I didn't call him just to get back in the group or anything like that because that weren't my intentions. I just wanted to feel good for myself that I let whatever I was holding go.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Willie. He and I were talking and just shooting the shit, and I told him everything, how I felt as far as like when I was in the group, and he told me his thoughts, views, feelings, or whatever. And for a couple of days, he and I talked, and he reached out to the group and it was like, "Yo, man, like I talked to Bryan. Y'all want to talk to him?" And some of them said yeah, one of them said fuck no. But it's okay, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I mean we brought it back together, and everything's been going.
And
But
even
do
with Q, it was a situation where we really wanted to be back into. We understood that we was doing a new project. What was it? A new day, and we just didn't really want to bring out new music and disappointing our fans without letting them hear this angel voice on the track. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, so we had at that point we really just made it. I think I was the one that made the phone call that time because I was putting together the project, and I'm just like, yo, we gotta have Q. We can't do it without Q.
You know what's so interesting is like there really hasn't been, and folks say it's harder now for a boy band to break through than ever before. If you notice, there's not a lot of groups.
Yeah, not at all.
Because a lot of labels don't want to invest in them.
Yeah.
It's
I
all
see why
about
though.
streaming.
It's a lot. I mean,
It's a logistical nightmare.